Hey, good morning, everybody. This is Thursday, and it is Thursday Morning Live. I hope you're having a great week and things are going well for you. I wanted to talk about something real quick this morning. Yesterday, I was on the call with a coaching client, and we were talking about what our mission was and, why we were in business, why we're in the multifamily business or the real estate business. And, one of the things that occurred to me, and, I have this written down, I wrote it down years ago. But my mission in the multifamily business is to provide safe and secure housing for my tenants. So, we buy these value add assets, these assets that have challenges physically and operationally, and then we go and we turn those around and we provide a safer housing community for the tenants so that, I think that mission came from years of grown up in a single parent household and seeing so many single parents over the years that work all day, their kids come home and they want to make sure when their kids come home from school that they're safe. And what a better way to help provide and give back for that environment. But anyhow, welcome this morning. If you're new to the show, glad you're here. Thank somebody who invited you. I want you to buckle up for this morning. We're going to talk about internet SEO, maximizing your exposure. My guest this morning is from LA, Brandon Leibowitz, and he's with SEO Optimizers. So I think that we're in for a great show this morning. Before I bring Brandon in, I want to remind you coming up October 17th and 18th is my 5th annual virtual multifamily summit. Boy, this year I have a packed stage, over 20 speakers and panelists, great sponsors this year. This is an event that you're not going to want to miss. We're just kicking off our pre-registration, our early bird special. Go to multifamily24.com. Get registered for this event because you are not going to want to miss it this year. And it's virtual, right? You can do it from your office. You can do it from your home. Let me bring in our guest. Look forward to this morning's show. Brandon, how are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you for having me on today.
Yeah, good to meet you. So,
Likewise.
yeah. So, Brandon, as I, always get started doing this, and I always tell people, I say, hey, I'm
You kind of froze.
Oh, what I was asking was, in one word, what best describes you personally and professionally?
I'd say motivated because I'm always trying to figure out how to business-wise grow, get my business at next level, or personally just trying to grow myself and just make myself a better person, and just been really motivated and ambitious throughout my whole life.
You think that's something you've always been, is motivated like that, or is that something that you kind of grew over the years? Or
Probably grew over the years. Maybe not when I was younger, but over the years, I've just probably since high school just been pretty motivated. Always knew I wanted to have my own company, be an entrepreneur, and that kind of got me going to that, being more ambitious and just trying to figure out how I could get myself to that level that I want to be at, essentially.
Sure. Good for you. Well, let me ask you, you want to, let's talk about your background a little bit, how you got into doing what you're doing and what your company's all about.
My name is Brandon Leibowitz, and I've been involved with digital marketing since 2007. Once I graduated from school, I got my degree in business marketing, and the first job I got out of college was helping a company out with their digital marketing, which I didn't really know much about it back then. And they said, don't worry, we don't know much either. We're going to learn with you, taking the classes and workshops and seminars, which I thought was kind of interesting, and decided to give it a shot. And after working there for a few months, just realized this is the future. Everyone's probably going to have a website. This is back in 2007, and decided to stick with this digital marketing thing. And over the years, worked at different advertising agencies as a director of SEO, and before work and after work and on my lunch breaks, I'd work on my own company, and eventually built that up to where I was able to quit my job and focus solely on this, and just been doing that ever since, helping people tap into that free traffic from Google.
Yeah, awesome. So let me ask you a question. You hear the term digital marketing, and for people who might not understand that or know what that is, what exactly is digital marketing?
Digital marketing is essentially marketing, but online. So it usually encompasses Google ad or paid ads, social media marketing. You could do email marketing and search engine optimization or podcast marketing. There's a lot of things they could do online that are marketing for your business, and anything that you're doing online would be called digital marketing.
Got it. Got it. So it does encompass social media, and it's not just doing paid advertising through Google or paid ads.
And, it's any type of marketing online. So even this podcast that we're doing would technically be digital marketing, since it's produced and it's going to be living online.
Great, great. Well, so what strategies or do you put into that for the efforts of growing somebody's following, their bandwidth, their exposure out there?
Yeah. So the way SEO works is, well, search engine optimization is ranking your website on Google. So when people search, you show up. And the way to get Google to make you rank is by putting keywords on your website. So Google reads your code, and they're looking for you to put keywords throughout the coding, which can get a little technical. But one place that you don't need to put code or need a code is just adding more text to your website. So Google feeds off text. They struggle with images and videos and audio, but they're getting much, much better at it. But they really rely heavily on text. The more text you put on every single page on your website, the easier it is for the search engines to read, understand, and know what that page is about. Unfortunately, that's not good enough, because search engines just don't believe anything that people put on a website, because too many people have checked the search engines over the years that they're just looking at all those keywords and saying, is that really what you do? Because we don't trust you, and we don't want to put out a bad user experience where, for example, you might say that you're a dentist and Google ranks you for a dentist in Los Angeles, and all of a sudden you're starting to rank for that keyword, but you're not really a dentist, and people are going to your website or going to your office and finding out that you don't exist. It's a bad user experience, and you're gonna be like, what's going on, Google? Why are you showing me this dentist and they don't even exist? So Google doesn't just only look at keywords, but they look at what are called backlinks. They look at what other websites are talking about. And what is a backlink? Backlink is a clickable link from another website that points to yours. So let's say you're reading an article on Forbes.com. In there it says Brandon Leibowitz, and you click on it and it goes to my website. I'd be getting a backlink from Forbes.com. So the more websites that talk about you, the more popular Google sees you as, and then they look at those keywords on your website to figure out what to rank you for.
So how do you know? I think this is something that I've always struggled with, but how do you know what's a good keyword? And I think I'm in the real estate business, but everybody uses real estate. That's that can't be a good keyword because there's so many people that use that. Or is it?
It might be a good keyword depending on what city you're in, but if you're just trying to rank for like realtor, real estate agent, Los Angeles, those are hyper competitive, and they're going to be saturated by the big corporations like realtor.com or Remax and Zillow. And it's going to be tough to break through if you're a small or medium-sized business for those keywords. And that's where you have to find high search volume keywords that have low competition. And there's tools like the Google Keyword Planner. It's a free tool from Google that will show you how many people actually search for your keyword every single month. So then you can figure out how many people search for, just for example, like realtor in Los Angeles versus real estate agent Los Angeles, because each one's going to get a different amount of searches. And you want to figure out which one gets the most searches, but also isn't dominated by big players. So that's where, once you find a good keyword through the Google Keyword Planner, search it in Google and see who ranks. And if it's just a bunch of big corporations and you're a startup, maybe hold off on that keyword. But if you search and you see it's a bunch of like small, medium-sized businesses and you're a startup or a medium-sized business, good keyword, go for it. But you have to do the research. Never guess, because the data is there and it's free from Google Keyword Planner. You could buy tools like Moz or Ahrefs or SEMrush if you want to pay for them. But essentially, they're just getting the data from the Google Keyword Planner and making it easier to read through, but you don't really need to spend money on those tools.
Yeah, interesting. So, do you use a tool that helps you use better keywords, or are you just kind of picking things out of the air yourself?
No, I'm first searching on Google for my keywords and looking at who ranks on that first page of Google and looking at that blue clickable link in the Google search results. That's called the SEO title tag. And that's where everyone puts their keywords. So if I'm trying to look at keywords related to real estate in my area, I'd like search for real estate in Los Angeles, realtor in Los Angeles, sell my home Los Angeles, buy my home Los Angeles, and see who ranks. And look at that blue clickable link. And then I could see what keywords they're using. Are they using buy my home or buy my house? Because each one's going to get a different amount of searches. And I look for patterns and see which ones commonly show up. Then I take them and throw them into those tools to see how many people actually search for that keyword. Because you don't want to just copy what someone else is doing. It might have worked for them, but maybe that keyword's changed. Like I've been doing digital marketing since 2007. And when I first started doing digital marketing, it was called internet marketing. And that was my focus keyword. Is internet marketing was all over my website. Now it's changed where digital marketing is a new keyword. So that's where if I copied somebody that just had internet marketing in 2024, it might not be the best keyword. So you always want to double and triple check everything that you see. Don't just copy verbatim just because they're on that first page of Google. They might have gotten lucky, and for some reason Google just ranked them, and it's not really the best keyword. So you always have to use tools to really see how many people search that keyword every single month.
Yeah, interesting. So you had mentioned the more text you have on a page. So are blogs helpful?
Yep, blogs are really helpful because after you build a website and you list out all your services, then you're like, all right, I list out all these services. I sell homes, I sell commercial, residential, multifamily, all this stuff. But then you want to rank for new keywords. And if you want to rank for more keywords, blogs are a great way to do that. For example, like you could say, all right, create all this content. Now I want to rank for the best communities to live in Los Angeles. You won't really have a page about that. But if you write a blog about the top communities to move into for townhomes in Los Angeles, then you could rank for townhome communities, Los Angeles. So it's ways to start ranking for new keywords. And then that blog should be full of text. But the text should be everywhere. Every page needs to have text, not just the home page, but every single page needs to have a couple hundred words of content on it. The more text you put, the easier you're making it for Google to really understand what that page is about. You're kind of like spoon feeding them. The more you give to Google and make their life easier, the more they're going to be able to reward you with the keyword or rankings for correct keywords that you're targeting.
Sure, sure. It's very interesting. How is there a typical length or a number of words that a blog should be when you post a blog?
You want to write more than your competition. So it's not really a one size fits all. A lot of people say write 400 words for each page, but really what you need to do is write more than your competitors. And that's where you have to go in and search in Google for your keywords. So whatever topic that you're writing about best townhouse communities to live in Los Angeles, go to Google, search for that keyword, open up all the websites that are on that first page of Google and look at how many words they're using and average it out. So if everyone's writing 100 words, you should write 150 words. If everyone's writing 1,000 words, you should write 1,100 words. So doing a little bit more than everyone else. But essentially, you have to look at your competition and look who's ranking and try to outdo them by doing it a little bit better.
Yeah, it's interesting. I heard for a long time, hey, write, 400 to 500 words. And then now recently I've heard you need to be writing about 1,500 words. And, that's a half a day project sometimes, right? Do you write copy, or are you just doing I want to say manipulating of the SEO?
No, I do a little bit of both, but you don't need to write 1,500 words. You have to write enough for the answer.
Yeah.
So if you might have a page on your website, like what does, or like if you're searching, like what is a house? That could be your keyword. Like what is a house? You don't need to write too many words about like what a house is, but if you're writing how to build a house, that's where you could probably write that in like 4,000, 5,000 words. So it just depends on what the context is, what the question is, and really what needs to be written about it. So the more the better, but you don't necessarily need to write 1,500 words for something that everyone is writing 50 words for. Google's going to be like, why do you write such a long-winded answer? And then it actually seems like you're trying to spam them and trying to manipulate the results. So you don't want to do too much because then it looks a little strange. You don't want to do too little because then Google thinks you're not doing enough. So you have to find that sweet spot. And I help with writing the content and also optimizing it. Like sometimes people come to me and they want to write all the content because they might have compliance, like lawyers have to be careful with what they say, or insurance companies. So they'll write the content, I'll give them recommendations, and then we'll make sure that it's approved by compliance. Or if I'm working with a realtor, I could just write the content for them and then let them review it, make sure it's accurate, make sure it has all the information in there, and kind of take care of it for them, because nobody wants to be writing all this content. And essentially, you should be blogging on your website at least once a month. The more you do, the better. One time is really good because a lot of people are like, I can't write more than one blog post a month. A lot of people say write once a week, which is great if you can, but really just try to do one a month. And then anything extra is just icing on the cake that you're doing.
Yeah. And text is better than video is what else I heard you say?
For SEO, but for people don't want to read 1,000 words.
Right.
People would rather just watch a video. So you have to have that balance and optimize your website for people and for Google. So I would, if you have videos, definitely throw those videos up. And I would put the videos at the top of the page and then the text lower down, because people want the video, they want visual, they don't want to read, but Google needs to read that text. And that's where you have that text right below the video. So you're appeasing people, making it easy to navigate, read through that site, and then you're making Google happy with all that text there.
Sure. So, and what is your, who's your avatar, your client? Who's a best fit for you and your business?
And most of my clients are e-commerce websites selling products, or local businesses, whether it's a real estate agent or a restaurant or chiropractor or anything local. So those are the two types. I don't really have a specific niche, because with SEO, it doesn't matter what you're doing. It's just changing the keywords. If you're a real estate agent, I'm going to go after keywords related to real estate. If you're a lawyer, I'm going to go after keywords related to law. And then with the backlinks, same thing. If you're a real estate agent, we need to build you backlinks that are related to real estate, to homes, to investing. If you're a lawyer, we need to find websites about the law, the legal system, and things like that. So it's all about just finding niche relevant keywords and websites.
Yeah. Interesting. Hey, I always like to, as I start to wind things down, I always like to ask a couple of, just generic questions, So I always ask people, what's the best book you've ever read?
There are a lot of good books. I would say like The Power of Now. Try to stay in the moment and not get stuck thinking about the future or dwelling on the past. And it's also could be really helpful for SEO, because a lot of it is wondering what's going to happen. When is Google going to rank me? How long is this going to take? And you're just overthinking things when you should just stick with what works. And eventually over time, you're going to get that traffic. But a lot of people are worried, like, what's going to happen? Am I going to get this traffic? Or they're thinking in the past, like, I did all this work and Google hasn't rewarded me. What's going on? Or you did all this work, Google ranked you, and then all of a sudden they dropped you. And now you're trying to think, what did I do wrong? And instead of dwelling on that, I would just focus on making sure you stick with what Google wants, which is good quality content and good quality backlinks.
Yeah. Interesting. So how do people reach you if they want to reach out to you and connect with you?
So I actually created a special gift for everybody. If you go to my website at seooptimizers.com, that's seooptimizers.com/gift. And they can find that gift there along with my contact information and classes I've done over the years. I've thrown up for free, so you can see step by step how to do a lot of stuff that we talked about. And also, if you want a free website analysis, I'm happy to check out your website from an SEO point of view, and you can book some time on my calendar for free there as well.
Awesome. And just because you're on the West Coast doesn't mean that somebody from the East Coast couldn't reach out to you either, right?
No, I have clients actually all over the world. So as long as you speak English, then I could help you out, because I've had people come to me in foreign languages, and that's where I just don't understand the language enough to be able to put keywords in your content, and it gets a little technical. Even with Google Translate, still not there yet, but it's getting close, and hopefully soon I can start doing international sites.
Awesome. Well, hey, I really appreciate you being here this morning. Definitely a lot of information. I always have wondered about a lot of this, because I don't think I do enough in my own business, and might be something that I need to take a look at. But any last comments for the listeners this morning?
I would say be patient with SEO. It is the long-term game, and it does take about 6 months to kick in. Sometimes it could even take longer, depending on how competitive your industry is. If you're in a very, very big city like Los Angeles, it can actually take a little bit longer than that. So just be patient with it. Don't get discouraged if you're not seeing that immediate movement. It does take time. So just keep slowly watching that traffic go up and keep working at it. And over time, you're going to see it growing and growing and growing. And once it gets to that level, it's just like a snowball. It's just going to keep growing and growing exponentially.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think that's, a lot of people's biggest downfall, right, is patience. So, it takes time. It takes time. So you got to hang in there. I think that, I have people in my life, good friends that, if they don't see results right away, they're on to something else. And I think you have to stay committed and, follow the process. So Brandon, thanks for being here this morning. I'm going to move you out, say goodbye to everybody. Wish you the best, and look forward to connecting again in the future.
Thank you for having me on.
Hey, everybody. That was my guest this morning, Brandon Leibowitz with SEO Optimizers. And remember, if you're looking to increase your exposure, your digital exposure, reach out to Brandon. He's got a free gift for you at SEO Optimizers /free gift, and grab that for yourself. Want to remind you one last time. Coming up October 17th and 18th, my 5th annual multifamily summit. This virtual event this year is going to be bigger than we've seen in the past years. I have over 20 well-known speakers from around the country that are going to come to a virtual platform and deliver 2 days of content for you, helping you grow your business, helping you grow personally, helping you grow professionally. You don't want to miss this event. You can get registered today. Go to multifamily24.com. That's multifamily24.com, and you can register. We just kicked off our early bird special. This event, we're going to have Neil Bawa on this year. We're going to have Vina Jetty on this year. We're going to have panels on raising capital. We're going to have panels on high-performing producers. So if you're looking to scale your business, if you're looking to put another foothold in the market in the coming months, you're not going to want to miss this event. So go to multifamily24.com, get registered today for the early bird special, and I'll look forward to seeing you in October. We'll be here next week. Have a great week, everybody.